Hey, what's up cuties? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a league race I did in Imola. For the league I raced for, it is called Slipstream Racing League. It's pretty fun. We have a Minecraft server now. So you should join. I will link it down below. I don't think there's much open seats left, but you could always watch some streams of it, and sometimes we have commentators. So yeah, this is currently one of my first few flying laps. I did a few before, but this one, all of the rest kind of sucked. So I think this one is my best lap here. It is a short qualifying because we only had, I think, 12 people racing in this race. So yeah, there was, I think, 3 safety cars throughout this whole race. So it'll be pretty interesting for you guys to see. Man, I'm tired. So well, if you can count how many times I just said that'd be cool.
Let's go.
I said it again. That was a 116.9. By the way, I also do not have any setups. I just recently made one for Austria, which is the next race, which, if you want to see it, it is going to be on Saturday at 2 p.m. US Eastern time. So I will link my Twitch down below. Make sure you follow, and you could see some streams of these races. I'm on a next lap. I have pretty good pace through this lap. As you can see, it's getting a little darker right now, so that means it's gonna rain in the race, which really sucks here, because Imola is not really a difficult track, but in the wet it's really weird because of some really high speed corners it has. Not high speed, but there's a corner specific which is coming up right now. This corner could get very bad in the wet if you lose a lot of grip. You could just fly off into the wall. So this is one of my first league races. This is my first league race on controller. I wasn't able to race in Bahrain because I had something to do that day, but I'm looking at a 3/10 improvement right now. I'm gonna try to bring it up to 4, and I bring it up to 4/10, maybe 5/10. There's 5/10, 6/10,
Or
7 possible, but it is unlikely as we cross the line with a 116.4. And now we are at the formation lap for the race. So you can see here that I'm gonna start off and I'm gonna struggle for grip as I kind of just slide off into the wall. And this is just a formation lap, luckily, so there won't be any damage or anything. But yeah, we have a Haas in front of CR75. He's a really good driver in this league, and I need to stop saying oh wow, I just can't. Alright, but here we go. This is into the second chicane. First and second turn are chicanes. Now I go a bit off track there, which is really disappointing. But another difficult part in the wet is that hairpin, I believe. Yeah, it's a hairpin. And here we go up. As you can see, these people have a lot, or at least CR75 has a good amount more pace on me. Everyone in front of me, I'm pretty sure, is using wheels. Actually, I think Chiz behind, which Chiz isn't even actually racing. He left before he even did a flying lap, but his AI has continued the race, and it was pretty interesting to add to the race. And that something does happen with that AI a little later on. This video is going to be a pretty long video, because it's a race. I didn't want to cut too much out, but I tried cutting as much of like useless laps as I could, because there's a lot where nothing really happens. There's no battles, nothing. I should have saved the full race replay, but I didn't for some reason. This is bad. And it's right around here where the grid starts to reform. And I got Nick. If you're here, wish me luck. There's a few behind me. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4 behind me. I think. Yeah, it's 4 behind. Pretty sure the Mercedes back there went off the track. And here's the race start right now. And it's lights out and away we go. And off the start we have
pole position.
Person in first place, Lich Wolf, crash out after his first pole position. And I gained two places just before the virtual safety car. So that's very good. It puts me up into P5 behind my teammate at the time, Rotardino. And recently I have been racing a bit for Ferrari and Alfa Romeo as I'm their reserve. So here we go. It's virtual safety car on before the first turn we even get there. I go off track and Psycho gets the place on me in the Alpine. And I have Chase the AI right behind me. So it's pretty interesting so far. First lap virtual safety car. Pretty sure maybe no, it's not a full safety car, as we get green flags. And I'm trying to keep the pace up on Psycho because I know Psycho has a wheel, I believe, or Psycho's just really good on controller. I still did not have a setup on for this, so I was just using the normal balance setup. In hindsight, I should have maybe used increased downforce, so I didn't do that as much. And as I kind of struggle for grip in some turns, it's not too difficult. I try going for a move on Psycho, but I have to back out before I one cut the corner, or two I get taken out, because this game is not very realistic to when you hit someone's rear tires. Usually the person behind that does it gets hit or spins. So now it is lap 4. Not much happened to those laps, as you can imagine. Psycho continued to pull away. And lap 4, someone is getting past, a Ferrari I believe is getting past a bunch. And we have a safety car. No, it's a virtual safety car. And as you can see, I did not have the delta at the right timing. So I slowed down a bunch, try to get my delta up.
Might as well just be a full safety car.
It still does not go to a full safety car. They're keeping it virtual for now. And so far it's pretty interesting. The second virtual safety car of the race. And yeah, so
looks like the Rhinos
not much people really doing well in wet. I usually get at wet races, and now it is a full safety car. I have low delta pace. This gives me a chance to catch up to the rest of the pack, as I have fallen extremely far back because of my pace. This was my first big race on controller, as I said before, so I'm still trying to get used to it.
I don't want to be the first on
pretty okay at controller.
It's really not even close to time for enters right now, but
a bunch.
If anything, I don't want to be the first one on, because
as you can see, the conditions are still bad. It is not yet time for intermediate conditions, as you've probably just heard me say.
I don't know, enters could be moved within like
how much volume's at, because I know the back time will be a bit quiet.
Yeah,
and here I am catching up to the rest of the pack. Lich Wolf left
after
crashing out on the first lap with his first pole position.
And within the last like
really
6 laps,
to see that happen,
maybe soft.
But sometimes these things happen, and can't really do much about it. When you struggle for grip at the start, usually that's what happens. You end up spinning, and it doesn't end good for you. So
there was contact up there.
I'm just thinking about in safety car. I'm behind Psycho, so I think safety car will end lap 7 if I'm not mistaken. I have one retired driver right now, and there's the incident. CR75 with 3 incidents already in lap 5. That's the amount of incidents I have after lap 1 and career mode race. So I think we have one more lap on the safety car, and we're just gonna skip ahead to where the safety car starts ending. My teammate goes into the pits, giving me P5 again. The safety car has ended. It is now lap 9. I have my teammates starting to catch up to me.
Already.
We have Danny, GV, and Mysterio, which is one of the best drivers in the league, both going into pits for inters, I believe. And Mysterio got a speeding penalty. Yeah, they both go in for inters. So it should be pretty interesting. They will be the first ones on inters, so I'm going to see how their pace is and if it is the right choice to go into inters. Here I am at a good P2 right now with Mr. Potato, Ferrari's first driver ahead. He's ahead by not too much. The other Ferrari, though, sadly falling very far back. I struggle for grip into that turn and pace close to my teammate. I'm now P3, 4 seconds to Timon Bao 33. I'm trying to just keep up some pace with my teammate, but as you can tell, I'm not faster. Pretty sure my teammate does have a wheel though, so I could kind of expect it. So now we just continue on lap 10. And my teammate teleported behind me, so almost a contact there between me and my teammate after he teleports. And I'm still struggling for grip, so soon everyone's gonna be in for intermediates. So I think I may go in this lap. I'm going in for inters this lap, yeah. And I try my best not to get a penalty through there. Then we have the Mercedes of Danny GV closing in on us as we go into the pits, and we are hoping for a fast enough pit that we don't fall all the way behind.
Mysterio has 5 seconds penalty, Psycho
over
10
there going in.
Psycho's also pretty far behind though, so.
And yeah, it's a 2.5 second pit stop, which isn't really that fast. But there's not really much you can do to control the pit crew. No, we now have Mysterio and Danny GV 13 seconds ahead of me, which is where they were behind, which I was 13 seconds ahead of them when I went into the pits. So it really did cost me a good amount of time in the pits. Now lap 12, my teammate coming out of the pits on inters. I get ahead of him. I'm P4. Mr. Potato is still P1, I believe. Danny GV P2 and Mysterio P3. So it's kind of an interesting race here, and we have
Potato in first,
teammate behind. As you can tell, I'm starting to pull away a little bit, and he catches up into this corner here.
Yeah, Potato
then
would
I
still need to
have the straight line as he still comes out of the corner, and into the next. He's still close. We have the Haas also behind him, and this may be a battle between me and my teammate right now. There's not really much I can do because his pace is faster than mine, and we don't really have a team engineer to tell us what to do in these situations, so we're just kind of going at it. This is usually what would happen between us, is we would kind of scrap it out. And he gets a little bit of a slide but corrects it, and the Haas starts to fall behind. I'm trying to give him enough space into these turns as we go into the final 2 corners, and I go very deep into the last of a few turns, and the Haas gets in front of both of us, making a good double overtake. I think my teammate was just trying to avoid me there as I went extremely deep into the final few turns, and now we're both struggling to try to catch up to the Haas. And into the first chicane we have no overtakes. Now the AlphaTauri gets involved as well, overtaking my teammate. and I'm just trying to get as far from them as I can and try to re-get past the Haas. The AlphaTauri and my teammate both catching up incredibly fast, and I brake a little late into that turn and go wide, but luckily I'm not off the track there. And here we go into a few other turns, and oh man, still behind the Haas. We have the AlphaTauri keeping up. We're not even really in contention with the Haas anymore. Now we're just trying to keep ahead of the AlphaTauri and our teammate. Hopefully our teammate tries to make a move through these turns. There's chicane there. I try to just keep the AlphaTauri at bay so my teammate could catch up a bit. I'm hoping the AlphaTauri will lose time. He gets right up on my rear bumper there, and I try to move away from that move. Give the AlphaTauri space into the turn. He runs the line perfectly, and I'm once again trying to keep up. I have a little bit of a slipstream on him. My teammate has a slipstream on me and seems to be using ERS. We're both using ERS, going side by side into the first chicane, so this is interesting. I go a bit on the grass and I give my teammate space into turn 1, but he doesn't give me a lot of room into turn 2. I was riding those curbs, and it's really disappointing there as to what happened. So my teammate ahead, I'm now P7 with Comms right behind me in the Mercedes. And Comms is supposed to be an AlphaTauri driver, so I don't know what he was doing in the Mercedes. Right. But I didn't even realize that he was racing for them that race, taking the place of Sway.
Next lap.
Who's also an extremely good driver in the league. We have another safety car. Who went off the track here? I don't know. But yeah, so I'm going into pits and I'm going in for softs.
Right.
And
I'm gonna try the softs.
You'll be able to tell that it is still early with those track conditions. But at the time I thought it was okay. It seemed alright to go in for softs. And as I see Mysterio not in for softs, re-gets inters, and I'm the only one now on softs. Should have waited a good amount of time for someone else to go first, but I decided to be the bold one and go on the first set of softs. So it's really not a good move. As you can see, I struggle for grip right off the pit exit.
I hit way too early.
I get passed by Psycho, who has a 5-second penalty as well. I have Chiz behind. The AI at least behind me. We have 2 drivers out. We have Philly Jones and Lich Wolf both out. Philly Jones is another reserve for Ferrari. He's not really one of the best drivers, but he's not horrible. My pace has been faster than his the past few times he's raced. So it's pretty interesting. I may become Ferrari's main reserve as their second driver has been out for a bit due to some personal problems. But yeah, so here we have a good amount of time ahead of us, so we have to try to catch up best we can to the rest of the pack as we have the AI of Chiz catching up. As you can see in these turns, it doesn't look like I'm struggling for grip much. But I really was behind the wheel here into the chicane there, the final chicane. I went way wide. It's difficult to brake, and I for some reason got delta time, and I don't know why. We go into the final 2 turns or 3. Does this last part count as a turn? Might count as one big one, but I don't know if it counts for the final turns. So there's a DRS zone, and as you can see, it's still not time for softs because there's no DRS at all. Usually you know it's time to go on softs when the stewards activate DRS. So into the first chicane, I go really good there, and into the third turn is where I lose it. Luckily I didn't end my race with that accident, but it really could have been a lot worse. So luckily it was just front wing damage, and this allows me to not spin as much, but it makes turning horrible. So it was either I oversteered or understeered, but no matter what, these softs were not gonna work out for me. And as you can see, I go into the gravel. I have to pit for a new set of inters and a new front wing, so it's really gonna cost me some time, as I still cannot find the proper amount of grip that I need.
Tried it and it didn't work.
So it's really bad for me right now. I'm P10. I'm only looking at 1 point, and this is my first race in the championship, and 1 point to start off really would not be good, especially with 2 people behind me that have DNF. It would just look really bad. So I'm back on inters, and I have my new front wing on lap 20. Lap 20 is what I first predicted that everyone would go on softs.
Alright.
But well, I went in early for no reason. But here we go into the second chicane. We have 12 more laps to go. We have nine cars in front of us. I have a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so I'm gonna serve that my next time around, because we will all pit again for softs, because as you can see, the track conditions are drying up, especially right here. You can see they're dry, and here's the drama, which is where the AI tried to defend, but it's in a corner where braking is very fast, and if someone tries sending a lunge in that braking zone, it really will not end good for anyone. And there I have 24 seconds after going for my new front wing. Now I'm getting used softs because I used all of mine in qualifying and my one fresh set before, which really is disappointing. We have CR75 also on the softs, the AI not on softs. I'm pretty sure the rest of the grid is all on soft tires. So there's my 5-second penalty. My whole fix took 13 seconds, and now it's gonna take me around 35 in the whole pit lane. Yeah, it's 38, will be 39, 40, almost 40 seconds on the dot in the pits, which is really disappointing. It loses you a bunch of time, which is really gonna suck for later on. But there's really not much you can do with these situations.
Softs are good.
And yeah, so we have to try to catch up to the rest of the grid, and right now it's really not looking good for me because I'm 50 seconds behind the one actual car in front of me, so it's really not good.
Alright, a bunch of people are gonna
put DRS enabled now,
Stereo being one of them.
We have Mysterio now pitting. I'm gonna really try to pick up the pace here and try to keep up with him, because if I don't get anywhere near him, it's gonna be very bad for me. I'm a minute off of Mysterio,
cars
which is just not good at all. I would really need a safety car through all of this, but as you can guess, I really don't have a chance for one. And right now P9 as comms has also DNF'd. And I didn't even realize. I think that's what the last safety car was for. No,
what's up?
This is a guaranteed 2 points at least.
Oh, and, so I can read chat.
My teammate now in the pits for softs, almost lapping me. And I have the Mercedes in P1 coming really close to me, going through the first chicane. But I have 3 cars all battling right now, coming up close to me, and through the hairpin they're good. I'd say maybe 7 seconds behind, so it's really not looking too good for me right now. I'm just trying to put up as fast of laps as I can, and my voice cracked. Jesus Christ, man. I'm just trying to do everything as well as I can and try to keep my racing lines nice and tidy. so far so good. Yeah, I've been putting up great lap times for just going on softs. We have the AI of Chiz now in the pits, so this should hopefully be another place gained, and it will be because it's an AI. The AIs that race for drivers on online are horrible. As you saw, it had a collision with me down to turn 1, right like how this one is lining up to look, but the AI gets off nicely out of pits, is way ahead. So now I'm just gonna pick up the pace and completely just follow this AI around, hopefully be able to overtake it, and seems like it really won't be too bad of a race for me. So here we go, green sector 1 with 27 seconds, so that's extremely good. We have a new fastest lap of 23 seconds by CR75. So I'm continuing to keep up pace with AI. I'm within DRS range pretty soon in the next few corners, and like I think within these next few turns I will be in DRS range. There's been a few new fastest laps. There's another green sector 2. I'm catching up to this AI very nicely, and it's really looking pretty good for me as things are starting to turn around a bit. But one problem is we have Psycho still 42 seconds ahead of me. There's really not much that I can do there to catch up unless we get another safety car. So there's the AI of Chiz right in front. I'm just gonna get him with DRS here. Not much AI will really defend against DRS with there. So I now have Mysterio, also 42 seconds, but Mysterio once again being one of the better drivers in the league, it's gonna be really difficult to catch up to with that 42 second gap. So I am really hoping for a safety car right now, and I'm really hoping for the best. There's a purple sector 1. This is one of my fastest laps. My teammate Rotardino getting another fastest lap, and coming through sector 2, it's really looking good. I've pulled a good amount away from the AI, and here is through final parts of sector 2 down the final straight of sector 2, and there's a purple sector 2 as well. I'm looking at a fastest lap here, and I see Mr. Potato retired from the session, and it's a safety car, and I have to do delta pace on what could have been the fastest lap of the race. Could have been passed, but it seemed kind of unlikely at the time. It was going extremely fast, and it's really disappointing to see it go in that way, especially. So I'm going to be 7th out of 8 people as of where it stands right now. Once I pass the part where Potato had crashed, I have to pass the safety car, because if I stayed there I would have gotten lapped immediately. This is a very good thing for me that he crashed as well, but it's really disappointing because of that fastest lap. So safety car now coming in. I have another purple sector 1 somehow, and I'm still 30 seconds behind Psycho and Mysterio. I was not really able to pick up much pace because the safety car is coming in a bit early, because of I guess a few more racing laps. I don't know if this game can really end on a safety car. So a green sector 2, we're getting ready to go racing once again, and here we go for
I'm not dropping up at school tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
I love you.
That was my mom. I go into the gravel. I'm lucky that I did not spin through that, and I'm now 7th, the AI being 8th, gaining 2 points for a driver that wasn't even racing. And here we go, lap 31, about to start the final lap of the race, and in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's the final lap of the race, and I'm really hoping to catch up with Psycho, as Psycho goes off the track into the first 2 turns, going into turn 3. He's off the track. It seems like he's going to try to get back on. So this gives me P6 here, 13 seconds away from CR75. I think maybe on older softs than me. He's around a lap older softs, but one problem is I started with my softs being old already, and he has a 3-second penalty, so I'm really hoping that if I can gain these at least 10 seconds, maybe 11, because of his pace through here, which is looking really strong right now. So it's final lap. I know at this point I will not be able to catch up to him unless he spins out like Psycho did. But I'm looking at 4 points to start myself off, and it's looking extremely well so far. And into the final chicane, here we go. And this is basically how it's all gonna end off, is with this P6 Danny GV. I think this is his first ever race win. It says Alfa Romeo for the Mercedes for some reason. I didn't even know that had happened till now. But we get the checkered flag and we finish this race in P6. So it's really disappointing because I think I could maybe have gotten a P4 if I hadn't gone for the early softs. But there's not really much to do about it. Psycho retiring because he's a little upset about the spin there. How much he could have done about it. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, and I hope you all enjoyed. I'm also maybe gonna do my team career videos instead of league races. I may just post full league races on a separate channel. Let me know if you want to see that. But in all that, it's gonna be it for this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.